guys, before we get into other Music Monday type stuff, we have to do a follow-up on something we covered last week. Turns out that we covered a story where this dude yelled Hail Trump and Hail Hitler in a theater while Fiddler on the Roof was going on. And initial reports were just thinking this was some Trump-supporting guy, some anti-Semite. Turns out he wasn't. He was just a guy who made a really, really stupid decision. But we should follow up on it because the initial reports ended up to be different. And the new reports came to the surface in between the time we recorded our first segment and that I posted the clip from that segment. So, the way it works here is that, we record a stream, and then Joe, my editor with the mostest, he is YouTube's greatest editor. I'm really lucky he likes working with me. But Joe then makes the clips, and then I get the clips, and I kind of schedule them out throughout the week. I load them up, and I schedule them out, and so some of them come out the same day, some of them come out a day later, some of them come out 2 days later. Some of them that aren't time sensitive, they come out even further down the line than that. Some that are, like when I told the story about how I lost weight, for instance. I haven't published that clip yet because it is evergreen. It's not time sensitive, so that'll probably come out around the holidays when the show's on a break. You get the idea. Now I'm over-explaining it, as I tend to do. Did you know I knew Henry Rollins was traveling, and I told him? But anyway, so yeah, I scheduled that clip out, and in between when the clip came out and when we recorded it, the new information came to the surface about this guy, so it's time to do a follow-up. Some of you guys have been saying, hey, this isn't, and it's like, yeah, we're going to do a follow-up. All right, so here's the follow-up. All right. Yelling Hail Trump during Fiddler on the Roof seemed like a good idea while drunk, the man says. Okay. So a man who caused panic at the Baltimore theater by shouting that during a show of Fiddler on the Roof, he's apologizing, explaining that his outburst was ill-conceived. It was an attempt to protest Trump's immigration policies. So he was actually protesting President Trump's immigration policies. So here's what this guy says. And what this guy did, I think, was stupid. I was trying to compare Trump to Hitler because he plays into the fears of people, and it just came out wrong, Anthony Durlanis told C-Ball TV from his front porch. I realize how hurtful it was and how it came out anti-Semitic. I have no hate in me. He was drunk. So I'll just summarize this. It's not really... So the dude was drunk, and he thought he was... like this was like a protest type thing. Why you think a good time to protest is in the middle of a show that you're watching. In the middle of a show that, by the way, has a message. So, I know this guy feels genuinely bad about what he did, so I don't want to... But, Mr. Delanis, you did a stupid thing. And I think you realize that. I think you learned from it. Dumb move, buddy. When's your next protest going to be? Is it going to be in the middle of an opera? Or are you going to just go stand up and be like, this reminds me? Are you going to be at a live performance of The Sound of Music and be like, you know what? The Nazis were bad and I'm going to do this hail thing to Not the time and place. If you want to do a real protest, there are people outside camping, protesting ICE. They're camping out in the cold, protesting ICE. Maybe go join them. Maybe bring them a bottle of wine. I'm just saying. A couple people in the YouTube comments were referring to this guy as a left-wing activist. No offense to again, I know this guy's sorry. I know he knows he made a mistake. But calling this guy an activist is an insult to real activists. He is not an activist. I know a lot of activists. They do very, very noble work, and they put their body in harm's way on a regular basis. This guy ain't an activist. This is a drunk guy who thought he was doing something clever, and he wasn't. End of story. There's the follow-up. Yeah, we've already spent too much time on it as far as I'm concerned. I think the guy learned his lesson. We all make mistakes, and it's over.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news